for the ones that don't know me, my name is Mafalda. I work as a SEN teacher at International Sharing School Madeira. I work there for 8 years now. I used to work as a kindergarten teacher, and then 3 years ago I've done a special degree on SEN, so I can have the role I have right now. My experience, the things I lived and during when I was working in the kindergarten, it is something I will take for life. So it was really important to me, and it makes me, I think, more and more complete and more confident about my role as a SEN teacher. And for the ones who are not familiar with SEN, goes for special educational needs. So my English, it is not perfect, but when Dr. Julia asked me, I just couldn't say no. I just love a good challenge. When one of the first things I learned when I started to work with the IB curriculum was that if we want and ask our students to be risk takers, open-minded, caring, principled, we have to stay there to give the example. So right now I'm being a risk taker. It's an adventure, but new times, and we have to adapt. And most of all, the most important thing is to share with you our work here in Madeira. Okay, so for the ones who don't know me, I am a mother of 4. I have 4 amazing kids, and one of my kids was diagnosed with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So when Dr. Julia asked me to talk about the SEN work we do every day, as you probably understand, it is really important and meaningful for me. It is real for me. It is not just work. It is my life. So it's going to be a pleasure to share my ideas, my work, our work. It is a teamwork with you. So I assume some of you are from International Sharing School Tagus Park. I want to say hello. I was there. I visited you last year. An amazing campus, amazing students and staff. I really want to visit you again, probably this summer. We will see how it goes. But it was really important to meet you, and I really want to know you better. So that's what the community is all about. As far as I understood, so I'm going to share with you my experience, our work here, and then by the end of this presentation, I'm available to answer you some questions, or if you have any doubt about something, I would be glad to answer and help you. But as you will understand during my presentation, I share my experiences, and one of the things I always say to my students when they ask me something, my answer is always, I don't know. I think I have a clue how to get there, but I don't know. So let's make this together and let's find our answer together. So that's the way, that's how I work, and that's the way I want to work with you too. So as a team, you can have many questions, and I would love to know about the answers with you. So let's do this together. I could read amazing things about the inclusion and learning diversity in the IB curriculum, but sharing the experience, I think it is more meaningful and it makes more sense. So I will try to share and to be clear and to share with you and find with you some answers. So nowadays, when we talk about special educational needs, and be aware that this name, special educational needs, it is something that here we just use when we deal with paperwork. For our students and community, I'm just Miss Mafalda and Professor Andrea, who works with me, and we are the ones, the adults that are there to support and guide them. Just that. Just that. No special educational needs involved. We are there to support and help. It is our main goal because we see inclusion policies, governments are more than ever aware of this reality. There are amazing things written and amazing people thinking about this inclusion concept. But then by the end of the day, is it real? Is it for real? Does it work? So this is my question for you. Do you feel that all the things that are in paper, they work, they are for real? They can help our kids. So our first contact, when a student first comes to our school without any evidence, written document or medical report, it is a home-based teacher who first observe and eventually signalize that a student require or will require our full attention. Of course, all our students have our full attention, but as you can imagine, sometimes, for so many different reasons, they can be permanent or temporary, a student needs an extra support. So when we have students with a temporary disability, I always like to think about this with this little text that says, it is taken for granted that disability and dependence upon others, it is something that all of us experience at least once in a lifetime. So at least once in a lifetime, we will experience how is the feeling of being temporarily disabled. It happens to us all. On the other hand, we have some conditions and disabilities that will last for our whole life, and they will be permanent. So for the people who deals with these permanent challenges in their lives, the best way of living with it is believing that everything's going to be okay, and we can do it no matter what, and we are going to do it. So I usually ask students, sometimes the parents, like a big question is, does one size fits all? Of course not. With or without permanent or temporary disabilities, one size does not fit all. We are so different. There's so many diversity. We are unique. And that is amazing. So one size does not fit all. At the beginning of this process, so the home-based teacher will meet me, and then we will start to work collaboratively to create a variety of co-teaching strategies and different dynamics to develop lessons in order to our students to achieve their full potential. And this is something huge for us. We create this document. It is an IEP, goes for Individual Educational Program, usually reviewed every month, more or less, to create an individualized learning plan for that student. And one of the funny things, and I think it shows how we work and how we feel this, how we live this, the first thing we talk about when we are creating this IEP, we always focused on the student's strength, always. So there are no words like weaknesses. We focus on the student's strength, and I think that tells a lot about us. Of course, in that document, we will have the areas we will need to work on areas we want them to improve, but most of all, we will focus always on their strength. So before developing the curriculum, and before the curriculum, for us at the beginning, our priority is to give our students a sense of empowerment. So it is really important that they believe and they know and identify that they have the right tools to build their knowledge, to build their own journey. That's what empowerment is all about. They know they have the tools, they just have to use it. They have to learn how to use it. Sometimes at the beginning of the academic year, usually, and with, of course, with new students, we feel new students with different background, different experiences. Our priority is to work on their self-esteem. They need to know, they need to believe again in themselves. They need to know they can do it. So it is really important to promote this positive self-image in our students, to show them that we are there to guide them and supervise them and support them. So we are there for them. It is a really important thing to us. Of course, we are always there to validate their hard work, but as I was telling you at the beginning of this presentation, it's not only to validate the hard work, it's to be honest and to establish this honest relation. So if a student shows me a work that I know it is not perfect, and his effort, and he didn't give his full potential, he didn't put his full effort on that work, I cannot say to him, oh, what an amazing work. Of course not. I have to say to him, it isn't a good work, but I know and you can do so much better. We have to be honest when we are validating their work, because they know what they can do it. And the majority of times when something comes to me and I know they can do better, they could do better, so then they will say to me, oh, you're right, I was not focused or something. But it is really important to establish this honesty between us. So we have to provide the right tools for them to build their knowledge and help them to achieve their full potential. It is something I'm always talking about, achieving their full potential. So increasing their pace of work, there are so many things, and a really important thing, to help them to rescue their curiosity and creativity and self-esteem again. So somewhere in this journey, they stopped believing in themselves. Someone told them they were not able to do it. So we have the obligation to change this. Of course they can do it. Of course they will do it, and they will get there. At some point, somehow, people lost their confidence, and I think our big role, and it is really important to again. So whatever the goal is, our main objective, one of our main objectives, is to show them that they can do whatever they want. And it is true. It's not just a cliche. It is true. They have to work. Without work and effort, so we don't have any results. So they have to work. They have to give their best. We have to help them work on their autonomy and independence, and they can do whatever they want. They will be whatever they want, whatever they dream. So in our meetings, usually we deliberate strategies, as I was telling you, and the right skills and attitudes that demonstrate the IB explicit commitment to prepare our students for the school life, of course, but also, and most important, for their lives. Because this experience, they will take it for the rest of their life. So it has to be a positive experience. It has to be meaningful. So make them understand that as a school member, a part of the school, a member of a society, our students, they are aware of their rights, but most of all, they are aware of their responsibilities. Without responsibilities, no rights. So we work this concept on a daily basis. So they are aware of their rights, but they are aware and they are really responsible. So just like all the rest, what they learn and experience in school, they will take for the rest of their lives. And this sense of community to value student diversity and respect individual learning differences, it will be fundamental to include and to support each other. That's what IB is all about, to create this big and strong supportive community. The IB says, I have to read now, that when we want to include, we want to increase access and engagement in learning for all students, we have to identify and remove the barriers. So as teachers in school, it is easy to us to identify which barriers they will find, and to help them remove those barriers so they can keep their journey. But during life, it will happen a lot. So this learning experience, it is something they will take for life. That's why it is so important to know they have the right tools and they know what they have to do in the future when they find something challenge, some kind of challenge, when they find some barrier, some in the way. They have to identify it and they have to remove it. And that's how they will do their journey with confidence and positives about their strength. So as I told you before, all this process is also reviewed and shared with the family and sometimes with a multidisciplinary team, because it doesn't make any sense to do in a different way. We work, and that's why it is so easy to work here in our school communities, because we are a real team. We work as an agency, community, students, parents, staff. We are all in. So it is really easy to work like that as a team. We also think it is important to discuss all the progress and all the journey with the students. And that's where the self-evaluation comes in. It is important for them to identify and recognize what went wrong somehow, how can they do better, the things they achieved, so, and the next objectives and goals for our journey. So it is really important to have this discussion and to reflect on their learning process with them. It is really, really important. So I guess all our students and all our families, they will know I'm going to talk about things that happen in a daily basis during our lessons in our school life. So I think you will recognize what I'm going to share with you, and I think you will validate and understand this is the way we work. So I think most of all, we create a dynamic pedagogical experience to inspire And it is really important to inspire, to promote that curiosity. It is really, really important. Our lessons are based on inquiry, and that will make all this learning process so much more intuitive. We focused, as you know, on conceptual understanding developed in local and global contexts, which make the learning process more meaningful. Of course, that during the curriculum, we have to talk sometimes about abstract concepts, but the majority of times, the way the lessons are experienced, our students are able to make connections with their real lives, and that makes a huge difference in all this learning process. They are able to connect what they are hearing and learning with their real lives, and that's what it makes all this so meaningful. So we focus, of course, on effective communication and collaboration. And as it is obvious to us that we differentiate to meet the students, our students' needs. So it is obvious, and it is a reality in the same classroom with the same age group. We can find so many different levels. And why? Because we have so many different backgrounds, experiences. So we have to know how to get there to each one of them. So developing the IB learner profile attribute, it is something the IB asks us since ever. So since the early ages, our students are aware of the learner profile attribute, and that will make everything become so easy, because if we are all in the same page, it's so much easier. If I know that my community, my group, it is caring, open-minded, principled, so on and so on. If we have all the same principles, and if we stand for it, it is so much easier to have the feeling of belonging, of being part of something. So as I was telling you at the beginning of this presentation, I was talking about all the inclusion policies, laws, documents that are made and are about the inclusion concept, but are they meaningful? Do you really think they are real? They happen for real? So when I first started, almost 18 years ago, oh my God, it was a long time ago, I read a lot of things, and I thought, wow, so many good things here in this paper, so many amazing words here, but they were not the reality. With the IB curriculum, what I feel as a professional is that we think about everything, and this is a concept, this inclusion concept, it is for real. It exists, and it happens every day. But most important, I really think we are doing the right thing. Our vision and principles, they will help us create not just the opportunities to help the students with permanent or temporary disabilities, but also, and this is the big thing, it is not just to help the students in a certain time of their life. It's more than that. It's to create a community that will be able to support and respect the diversity. So, and definitely in the IB, in our schools, I know that we promote the inclusion, and the inclusion, it is a reality. And this concept, this experience, they will take for the rest of their lives. So I think it's a cliche, but it is a fact that they will be our future. And I feel safe, I feel proud, because I know that our children, they will be part of a really supportive community. They will be able to respect diversity, and this concept and this word inclusion, it will be a reality. It is a reality for us, and I'm quite sure it will be a reality for all that are involved here. I think I have my main ideas. I share with you my main ideas, but I would like to give you a real example about this IB community and about ISS community, the Sharing Schools. When Dr. Julia asked me to share with you this experience and these different points of view, I was not expecting. It was a surprise. And then when I wake up this morning, I had a call from Miss Despina saying she was there for me. She knew I was out of my comfort zone. So, and this show us how our community works. I don't know personally Miss Despina, but the way she was there to help me and support me, that's what IB is all about. And I am really, really happy and grateful to be part of this community. So unfortunately, as I told you at the beginning, something happened with the computer. I was not able to do this presentation from my computer. I'm doing it from my mobile. So I have here your messages, which I appreciate, but I will not able to right now to read them all and to answer all your comments and to reply to your comments. Definitely read them all, and I will be available to all of you. As I told you before at the beginning, I will be available to answer and find some answers with you. So I would love to have this journey with you, and you can always contact me through our new platform, the Windows Teams. So I will be there if you need everything. If you need anything, I'm so sorry. If you need anything, I will be there to help you and to think with you about these things. So thank you. Your messages are so nice. I feel so appreciated right now. So that's what I was talking about, to be part of this community. People who don't know each other, but people who are there to support and help. So this is the IB. This is our main goal, and this is how we live this learning process. So I would say now I think it's time to say goodbye, to thank you all, to ask you to take care, and most of all to keep safe. And as I told you before, I really want to meet you this summer, so I think I'm not going to see you. I'm not going to say goodbye, but see you soon. Okay? It was a pleasure.